to you. Okay. Well,
Hi.
Okay. So be careful, it's recording.
Same as thanks. I was trying to see if it would let you.
Oh, I finally got through all the minutes of that 3 hour.
Okay, it worked. We're good.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so nobody from Comcast came? Okay, so after somebody reached out to me from Kirkland, and they have 292 pedestals throughout their entire town. So somebody else watched our live stream from our meeting and listened to Comcast. And so they reached out to me and said that we should add to that contract that we want the handholds. They're the ones that you can mow over the top of. And so I don't think that we should sign this contract without having that added, unless everybody wants those big, tall pedestals. Some people have, they said that some people in Kirkland have 2 pedestals per yard. There's a lady who had a flower garden and there's a pedestal right in the middle of it. Like they just steamroll their town completely.
Was it in their easement though? That flower garden?
I don't think so.
Because
It's in their yard.
I know, but Comcast is supposed to be in the easement. From what my understanding was.
And the information, I received a link from the town board meeting that happened in Kirkland, and they were talking about how things were promised that didn't happen, and that they were supposed to be in the alleys, and they were supposed to, or not be in the alleys, and whatever they've done, they've not held to their contract, and their town boards will not fight against them because they don't want to get sued. But we don't have a contract with them as of right now unless we sign this one. So going in, Rick said that it's a good idea for us to add that to our contract before we sign it. We can adopt this by saying that we agree to it as long as we add in with the handholds so that they can mow over the top of them. They're not on top of the.
You want the burial vaults.
Yes.
Because
if not,
some issues with that, with water getting down in there. I think that was one of the reasons Comcast didn't want to do a lot of it.
The only thing I seen online with just the one city that I've seen it in that they had it is if you get a lot of rain. And I don't think, we
did the other night.
Right.
So it's a quasi box is what it is. So it's like a fiberglass concrete box. And all it is you're supposed to put gravel down before you put that box down. That way it's supposed to be properly installed. It's supposed to drain and everything. But with telecommunication wires, typically there's not a lot of power going through those. So even if it did fill up with water, it wouldn't really do anything. The only thing I would be concerned about is I still way prefer those over pedestals just because they're an eyesore and people hit them all the time. The handholds would be a little more efficient unless somebody drove over them. That'd be the only problem. And even a mower, that had to be super soupy, I think, to really do much to it. But you'd have to be pretty blatantly not caring what you're doing to do something like that. So I think the handholds would be a good idea if they'll go for it. Price might be a little bit more just because they got to dig out something. But I'd rather prefer that.
But they've been digging out 152 to put the cable in the whole time. They're putting those in flush with the ground.
And typically they put them right where they go in and out with the boring machine.
They're right in the ditch.
So you know why, right? Have you seen those 52 drivers? They'll hit anything.
So, I can read you some of the email that she passed on, or I can send it to you, whatever you want to do.
I've seen some links because I've pulled up on Comcast and Reddit with issues with their reliability and customer service and everything, and it's like any other large corporation, they just want to come in and then they're done.
They don't really care about us.
Some of the pedestals that they've already installed are like crooked or they're sunken, and they just, I mean, just the ones that they've already installed around now.
I was gonna ask how many, do you know how many have been put in already? They said, what they say, they're like 60% done or something?
Yes, they should be
Yeah,
done already.
60%.
I know they've done this road and then probably like maybe some Clark Street, but they're,
I just don't want us to be 2 of these big pedestals per yard. I mean, some of us,
Yeah, nobody wants to look at that.
you know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be, our town's small, we want it to look good. I mean, so I don't know.
I'd rather wait till we get that in there and Rick approves the whole contract, and then they
Should wait.
approve it, and be, instead of signing something and go, well, we didn't see that.
Yeah, so this would be that we would agree that I can sign the contract after that is added. So hopefully before our next board meeting. So if you guys want to agree to it, Rick said that we could say that we would agree to the contract as written if we add in that we want the handholds added. And then somebody can make a motion that I can sign it once that's added.
Is he okay with everything else in the contract so far? I know there's a little discrepancy there on the.
Yeah. You guys can look at
I only brought one copy, sorry.
it.
Yeah, I'd make a motion that, it's okay for you to sign if we get the handhold, or added into the agreement.
What are they called?
Handholds?
Hand?
Right? Hand.
Yeah, like hand, HOLE, is what
Okay.
I've always called them, because you can only reach your hand down in there. In a manhole, you can reach your whole body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Handhold.
Once we have a green, we can decorate for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
right.
get 2 of them in your yard and have 2 Christmas trees.
So
Per season, change it.
So Corian makes a motion that we agree to the contract once the handholds are added. So
I'll second it.
Corian one,
that's
Chris on 2, all in favor?
Aye.
So then we'll need a motion for
you to sign it.
me to sign it once that's entered into the contract.
I'll make a motion, we have Julie sign it.
Paul.
Once the contracts. The way Rick wants it.
A call on 1,
A second.
Corey.
on 2, all in favor?
Right.
Aye. And Dwayne's truck blew a rod and needs repaired. It's at JTR. So we need to do an appropriation for the repairs.
Do we know what kind of rod it was? Was it a push rod? Was it a piston rod? We don't
It
know.
was one in Mexico, bro.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen anything happen to my truck. I broke a push rod for the lifters, and Chris Kripe, who used to work with Joe, fixed it up pretty good for me, but it cost me over $2,000 to get it done. With that being said, I think JTR is kind of high with 16K with a new motor and that.
I checked with York today too. They're right around the same, 16, 17, 18,000 depends. And it's a Chrysler. I totally up to you guys what you want to
It's a
do.
brand new
I got a new truck. We'll be ready
Chrysler.
when it's ready, so. But
But
I think the truck's, I mean, obviously taking really good care of it, so it's in really good shape to just let it do nothing with it, so.
I mean, there are other options, though. We could possibly sell that truck as is and take all the equipment out and put it in a new vehicle we purchased to save us on that other
No,
stuff?
you don't want to do that.
Why?
Because all of that equipment has been in that truck and you take it out, you risk everything not working, I mean, that would just be ridiculous to take it all out and start again. Or sell it like that.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
You're not gonna get anything out of it, sell it with a blown up engine.
I make a motion that we approve for an appropriation for the 16,000 to JTR.
We have an
So is that gonna
estimate.
be an additional appropriation?
Doesn't,
Cause, I mean, there's-
Regina said it has to be
Huh?
additional. Regina said it had to be an appropriation.
It will have to be an additional appropriation because we don't have that money in budget for that.
Right.
So I would have to, again, do the same thing I did with the purchase of the truck. I would have to advertise it.
So you need me to
Do
do,
a
so if
hearing.
I say this, I make a motion that we start the appropriation, or you
do-
want it
do
to
an
be
additional
different?
appropriation.
Okay, I make a motion that we do an additional appropriation to start the repair process for JTR.
You said you got two quotes, right, Dwayne? They're both about the same.
Yeah, and honestly, I believe, because my nephew works at York, and of course, that's where we buy our Jeeps and stuff, but I talked to him today, they said the price was about right, but they use a remanufactured motor.
Yeah.
JTR's ordering one directly from Chrysler, so it is an actual brand new Mopar motor I did. So,
Those come with a warranty by chance, or at least a little bit.
It's 3 years, 36, just like
I
the,
think
it's
it is
the
3 years, 36.
original warranty. But you want to?
How old's the truck?
20.
20. How many miles on it now?
80, 85.
Yeah, I'll make a second on that.
All in favor? Aye.
Where are we gonna take it from? Would it be the 2240 of the
So
safety?
when we went over those the other day, she said that there were several that
Mhm.
could be used for,
We can take it out of seated, MVH,
what do you think is the best option?
or the best option. I don't have my fund report in front of
I
me.
know, I
But,
did. I was gonna bring my folder in.
no, it's all right.
Or you wanna take part from one, part from another?
No, I think the additional appropriation has to be clean.
Has to be one, okay.
So I would say doing it from the public safety fund.
Do you need a motion for us to do that?
Yeah, let's do that, just in case.
So you use money from,
2240.
I'll make a motion that we use the money from 2240 for the
For the amount.
appropriation. For the amount.
Oh,
Yeah,
You got the exact amount, Dwayne?
I was trying to look it up now.
16th, well, yeah, I do actually, hold on, that's it.
I know you have the text.
You're, let me scroll down here, that's fine. $16,099.36. 16,099.36.
Make a motion, we use them 2240.
That include the tow bill to get it there?
Yes.
That includes everything else, diagnostics, tow bill.
2240 for $16,099.36. Only on one.
Second.
We're on two.
All right.
Now, who wants to go home?
I'll make that motion.
Corey,
I got Corey on one to go home,
Chris,
Chris on two to go home.
Mike, we need to ask about the radio tonight, I was gonna say that for more.
we'll say that for the board meeting.
All in favor? Aye.
That we do have. to know that.
That, we have to, city, that does.
No.
They're all that way.
Yeah.